Hey guys, what is up? Is it Friday yet? No, it is not. What is going on? There is so much going on at lightning speed. Before we get started, guys, you know the rules. Go get a snack, go get a drink, go get some popcorn, go get some candy, get some chips. What's up to TikTok? What's up to YouTube? Go get whatever you need. You guys know this is the cooking show, so we're going to shout out right here to Montego Bay Ginger Sorrel. Ginger sorrel right here. Can you see it? Ginger sorrel. I just made a drink with orange juice, guava, and this sorrel, the ginger one. It is so good. You put a dash of rosemary. Thank me later. If you want the recipe, excuse me. If you need the recipe, just go on my playlist, go through drinks, and it'll be there. Okay, let's go. So I'm gonna come back. I did a live yesterday about Tyler Perry. We read the court documents. It was 46 pages. It was really hard. I think I got about 2/3 of the way through it, and then I just had to stop because it was so much. But I wanted to come on today and get into a little bit more details. So guys, go ahead, hit that like button. And I'm really curious to see where you guys are from. Just let me know. I'm in Florida. I always tell you guys I'm in Florida. I'm close to Miami. So I'm always curious where people are listening to. I know there's a lot of females from California. Shout out to California, Texas, New York, Florida, the UK, Canada. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. And while we're with it, go ahead and hit that like button. So like I said, yesterday we talked about Tyler Perry, but I wanted to come back today as I had a little bit more time to digest it and talk about it. As far as Diddy was concerned, I think there was no court today. I think there was a third juror that they're trying to kick off the trial. They're shooting again for the fourth time for a mistrial. It's just a bunch of shenanigans. I mean, the first juror got kicked off for lying about where he lived. He said he lived in the Bronx. He didn't. He was staying in Jersey. The second juror, I think, was maybe get kicked off for leaking some information to TMZ. They said the lead prosecutor, Agna Fillier, he may be held in contempt of court with criminal or civil charges, I think, allegedly. And then Brandon the Mule never testified yet. Maybe Friday, maybe next week. Tomorrow's Juneteenth, so there's no court. And also the third juror may come back, may not, has vertigo. We don't know how long vertigo is going to last. So that's with the Diddy going on right now. As far as R. Kelly, I'll make another video for that. I need to digest a little bit because I'm hearing 5 different reasons what happened to R. Kelly, and if I don't have any facts to back it up or some paperwork or something or a credible source, I don't really think TMZ is a credible source. I think they're on the payroll. Let me see. So as far as Tyler Perry is concerned, allegedly the man is innocent until he's proven guilty in a court of law. This is a civil case. Do you think he's going to settle? $260 million is a lot of money. Do you think Tyler Perry is going to settle? You think he's going to take this to court? I don't think he's going to let this drag out to court. I want to know how him and his lawyer came up with that number, $260 million. That was pretty big. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. If you guys want to share my screen, jump over on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Safari Spice. Here is a photo, which doesn't mean anything. It's just a photo. We all know Tyler Perry is very generous. We know that he always lends out his planes, when there's funerals, to assist, and he flies people out, and he invites people on his yacht, which is fine, not a crime. Sure, I wish I got an invitation on Tyler Perry's yacht. But anyway, so this is Tyler Perry was spotted having a little boat date with Mariah Carey's ex, Brian Tanka. He's living his best life. Let's see the comments. We all know it's nothing new. Let's let this rich black man live his life. Brian's an actor. He's on the payroll. He's in that Netflix show, Beauty in Black. He invites all his employees to the yacht. Okay. I'm reading the comments on Instagram. Rich auntie on vacation with his little friend. They're probably talking about movie, all messy. Why are we obsessed with people's sexuality at this point is speculation. I wish I was both of their bank accounts. Carry on, Mr. Perry. Keep inspiring us. We see you, Madea. Okay, so this is the guy allegedly, Derek Dixon, who dropped the lawsuit for $260 million. He started on the show Ruthless, but he met Tyler Perry. He was working at Legacy Entertainment. I think he was like do an entertainment company working there, and the owner, his name was Tony, was friends with Tyler Perry. Introduced him to him in 2019. Tyler liked him, said, "Let me get your phone number." They exchanged numbers. They said, "I have some acting spots coming up. Come." He did some shows on Ruthless. Tyler Perry said, "Come to my house." His big, 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 huge mansion in Georgia. I don't even know how many bedrooms that place has. It looks massive. I'm curious. Let me look it up, guys. So here he is. Let me see. I'm just curious. Give me a second. What's up, TikTok? I like you guys. I like TikTok. How many bedrooms does Tyler Perry's mansion have? I'm sure Tyler Perry has more than one home, but he went to the house in Georgia, according to the lawsuit, allegedly. 8 bedrooms. Cost 100. Okay, so let me see. Tyler Perry's estate has 8 bedrooms, 1,000 acres, cost over 100 million. It has 12 bathrooms and it's 40,000 square feet. So it's massive, massive. So he invites him out, comes to the house, has a couple of drinks. He's not feeling well. Next thing you know, he claims his biscuits is getting pinched. He's pinching his biscuits. He goes on, he starts working with him. They become friends. COVID happens, 2020. He's on the set. Tyler Perry grabs him again, grabs his biscuits or whatever, allegedly. Then he invites him back to the house, come to the house. He falls asleep. He doesn't have any pajamas. He goes to sleep in his underwear. Tyler Perry grabs his biscuits again, allegedly, and rips off his bottoms. And then proceeds to like grab him by the neck and choke him up and be like, "Oh, you like it like that, daddy, right?" So the guy's like, "What?" He's all scared. He's like, "What are you talking about? I don't like this. Order. I want some pizza. Let's go eat pizza." So he tries to order some pizza to divert him. Anyway, the guy, Derek, couldn't take it anymore. He moves to Santa Monica, California. He's like, "I'm out of here. I can't deal with the pressure." Tyler Perry calls him back and says, "Look, I got a main role for you in the Oval. Come back to the Oval. Let's work full time. You'll go from making 10,000 an episode to 19,000 an episode, but don't tell the other cast members because you're the only one that's going to get this increase." So he goes, he takes the job, he goes back. Then he gets unalived on the set. He gets, bang banged in the chest like 4 times. And he keeps dangling like his job and the money over his head. Yeah, so that's the story in a nutshell. But that's not really why I'm here. Because if you go on my last live, we read it all. Why? As much as the 46 pages as I could. I wanted to go back to, you guys remember that interview with Christian Keys. And actor Christian Keys. He's been on All the Queen's Men. I think he wrote and produced All the Queen's Men. Let me see. Wrote and produced All the Queen's Men. I think so. Let me look it up real quick. Yes, Christian Keys, an executive producer of a television series of All the Queen's Men. He also wrote the novel Ladies' Night, which serves as the basis for the show. Additionally, Keys co-starred in the series playing the character Marilyn Madame DeVille. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched the female show. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. I didn't know. Okay. She's a producer and an actor. Christian Keys. Okay, here he goes. Right here. Oh, wow. So he's saying that All the Queen's Men is based on his life. Really? So he was a stripper? Was he a stripper or was he a madam? Was he running the strip club? Was he That's interesting. I'll have to look at that later. Maybe I'll come back and do another live at that. It's just spoke my interest. But I'm just here about the interview that he did about he was essayed by a powerful man in Hollywood. Let's because I have the lawsuit, so I have the lawsuit up. So the lawsuit is up right here. One thing that I found interesting about the lawsuit is that the lawyer wrote about allegedly, this is all allegedly, that the lawyer has said that Tyler Perry had a mentorship program. And if there's and it's actually on his website. If you go on Tyler Perry Studios, it talks about his mentorship program, his internship program. But when he talks about the mentorship program, it made it sound like there were other victims involved other than this guy, Derek Dixon. But let's go to this interview. Let's start from the beginning because this came out like a year ago. Let's make all of this let's tie it together.
Let me cut the TV down. They don't need to be this loud. What's going on here? I want to talk to you about some stuff. And it's been on my heart, so I want to speak on it. All right. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing amazing. I am. I've been speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience. What I experienced with certain powers that be that were moving inappropriately. And I really, like, it's in my bone marrow to discuss that because thankfully God built me the way that he built me, but I'm not sure, based on this person's claims and brags, that he's literally got at the same time this person was.
He's saying he was essayed in Hollywood, but he has yet to mention a name. So I just want to see what he said in this interview a year ago, what matches up with the new lawsuit that came out 5 days ago.
Sexually harassing me for years.
He said he was been sexually harassed for years.
He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there. And clearly, that's why it felt to him that it was okay to say these things. And I really, I want to have these discussions. I want to be transparent with y'all about that. I've done my best to forgive this person, but it happens. It happens. It's not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be me.
They do say in Atlanta, Georgia, a lot of the gay community say that they have been hearing a lot of rumors. The black male gay community in Atlanta, Georgia has been saying that allegedly that they've been hearing a lot of rumors about this stuff about Tyler Perry for years, for a while.
Men tempting men. And that's why a lot of my posts over the last few years have been about taking the scenic route, taking the long way around, because if that means that you can carry your integrity with you, then, and it's 11:11. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another opportunity to connect with you. Please forgive my sins, my shortcomings, my bad decisions, and my mistakes. Please continue to guide and protect us as only you can. Everybody that's watching, it's not a presentation, but if I see 11:11, I try to have another conversation with God. So thank you, Heavenly Father. I appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen. That's interesting. But there are people that will and have and will continue to, unfortunately, offer these things. And some of them are your heroes.
He's saying men are going to offer him things. He's not saying what things he's being offered. Like we know with Derek Dixon, he got a car, he got airplane flights, and he got a role in a number one show. Whereas Christian's saying he was offered things, but he's not saying what. And the show he's on, All the Queen's Men, he actually produced it. But he is saying that the people or the person or the man, he's very vague, who offered him something was someone that we looked up to as a hero. So it must be then, it has to be a public figure, right? So that we.
Some of them are people who y'all like, oh yeah, such and such is amazing, and he does
Who's a hero? TD Jakes? I know the black community in the South, the church, they like looking up to TD Jakes.
this and he does that. Yeah, but he also does this and that. I at some point soon it's gonna have to come out. I've kept one of these.
Look, they say what you do in the dark comes to the light. Look at Diddy. Look at all the shenanigans he was doing for 3 decades. And it's all out in the open. Same with R. Kelly, Weinstein, Abercrombie and Fitch. He's saying one day it's all going to come out.
On me since '05. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them.
Oh my God. So he recorded this public figure asking him to remove his clothes. Where Derek Dixon alleged that Tyler Perry, not once, but not twice, but a few times, ripped off his underwear. It's not funny. I don't mean to laugh, but he, pulled off his underwear.
Um, I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police because sexual harassment is a crime, attempted sexual assault is a felony. And Tams, you literally just asked, why do we as black?
I never heard Derek Dixon say he had to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. I don't recall in the lawsuit ever saying he had to sign anything. He just said he said Tyler Perry lawyered up when he went from 10,000 to 15,000 to 19,000 per episode. He said just don't tell any cast members. But I didn't remember him signing any legal work that said NDA. But it's saying Christian now is saying that there were NDAs, but you can't sign an NDA on SA or S harassment or S assault because it's criminal.
Black people have to deal with that, but sometimes it's our own people. Sometimes it's our own heroes.
So he's saying it's our own people. So our own people, and him being a person of color, I'm going to say it's a hero, which is a public figure, and our own people, I'm going to say is a person of color. Since he don't want to name any names, let's go.
Sometimes it's the very people we deify and we look up like, oh, they're doing so much, they're doing so much. No, they're also doing this. And my only reservation about naming the people, there was directors along the way like, hey, you read for this, that, and the other. You want to come back up to the apartment? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You got my headshot, my resume. I'm good.
See, he's smart. No, thank you. Thank you, no, thank you. I did my interview. I did my, what do they call it? The gay casting couch. That's what they call it. The gay casting couch. The GCC. We're gonna call it GCC. The GCC. What I'm saying is that it's like Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons was out there, and then you want to interview, you want to work for me, you want to come up to my apartment. Okay. Next thing you know, there was white powder and the girl was SA'd, and then there's a lawsuit 30 years later. Why are you going to know? And that's the same thing when he's saying Christian Keys was a very attractive man. I don't know what his sexuality is. I don't know. I don't care. But he's attractive. He's a nice looking man. And they told him, he did his casting call. He gave him his headshot. He gave him his business card or his reel, his acting reel, whatever they do. I don't know. And they said, nice, come back to my place. He said, thank you. Stop with the shenanigans. Thank you, no, thank you. No, for what? See, he's smart.
If I can handle that or not. Nope. I can kill that. But I don't need to come up to your apartment. We already had the audition.
Smart.
There's other people that I want to say everything, and my brother was like, nah, not yet. I want to tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere. I want to speak on it. And the good news is that they don't even have to believe me. Hopefully they would, but even if they don't, they can hear this person. Since sexual harassment started, I've carried many recorder devices on me, keychains, pens, thumb drives with a charged battery that get 6, 7, 8 hours, all the above. So I have the conversations. I really want to air that shit out because it bothers me when I'm alone at night. Like, man, the world is celebrating this person and they don't even know the shady and predatory way in which this person.
You know what? This is saying, when you think of Jay-Z, Diddy, Tyler Perry, whatever, there's a saying that always play here in the back of my mind. Behind every billionaire is a crime. What crime it is, I don't know, but I don't know why. Whenever I'm like listening to Christian Keys talk, and I'm like, there's a crime in here somewhere.
Person moves, and the way that predators resent the prey that gets away. So when you don't say yes, when you don't say okay, I'll acquiesce and sign up and literally and figuratively play ball, because if we're not doing that, they resent you.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. That's always said the entertainment industry always sounds like a cult. Because if this is true, allegedly, Tyler Perry is very successful. He's a nice looking guy, has money, he's a workaholic. He can get any man, any woman, he can get anybody he wants, whether they're heterosexual, bisexual, gay. He can get anyone, or he could pay somebody, to go after someone who's not interested in you and offer them a career and force them. and then kill them off on the show if they don't do what they want. It's very, very twisted, very sick, and it's a lot of manipulation. And I think it is very common in the entertainment business and possibly even sports. Look, how do you think the yacht clubs, like the billionaire yacht clubs, how do you think the yacht clubs were for like really rich white billionaires? And they would go through Sports Illustrated and look at the magazines. And they would find models, and maybe some of the models were of age or 18 or something. And they would just call up the Sports Illustrated, call up the head of the magazine and say, fly them out, ship them out. And it's that whole grooming mentality, rich and wealthy, I can have everything I want. And that's what happened with Aoki. Her mom kept saying, Kamora Lee kept saying, go find a billionaire, go da 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 da, and she was like, okay, following her mother. But I'm just saying with Tyler Perry, allegedly, you don't have to go after chase somebody that doesn't want you. Because that's what I'm taking away from this, is that he just constantly kept pursuing his object of affection, even though he allegedly kept rejecting him. It was almost like a turn on for him. Oh, you don't want me, I can have any. It was like the chase was a turn on to the point where, and this went on for years, it almost was like predatory.
This is a conversation we're going to have, and we're going to have soon, because it bothers me in my spirit that I can forgive people. That's one thing. But yeah, Pete, we don't play ball. That's my brother in there. And he knows the real deal. He knows the who. I'm good. Somebody said, you don't look okay. I'm okay. I have peace. I'm literally strategically planning my next 8 moves. I'm good. God got me because he was watching when I was offered these opportunities and I didn't say yes. I didn't sell my soul or my ass. Excuse my French, y'all. I know some of y'all, hopefully y'all have no kids around, but I didn't sell nothing for success. It's like, nah, that's not what I want. I ain't into that. I ain't into dudes. I got an only beard in the bed policy. Mine is the only beard in the bed. Yeah, we ain't doing none of that. I don't get out like that. And these people kept on for years. Sexual harassment is a crime.
So you said these people. So obviously it was more than one person. But the thing I didn't understand with Tyler Perry in the lawsuit with Derek Dixon, it all through, it was 46 pages, right, guys? I got through like 2/3, and I kind of listened to it again today. But he kept saying, "You got to say a firm no, a firm no, a firm no," because it looked like the guy Derek Dixon, like he kept accepting his calls and he kept being nice, and he kept kind of putting off his advances in a easy manner because he didn't want to piss him off, because he was like, I want a job, I want to be an actor, and I want a job. So I think Tyler Perry was like, no, you need to be like a man, say no and mean it. And I almost as if he was sounding like Tyler Perry was trying to say like he was leading him on.
Attempted sexual assault is a felony. And where I'm at now is that in the middle of the night, I think about if I'm brave enough to name the person. I'll take a polygraph live. I'll take 5 polygraphs live. And I'll pass all of them because it's the truth. This person is a predator and he's one of several. And it's a shame, man.
Okay, so he said he. So now we know it's a male. So he said they. He said he. He said hero, which would be public figure, and he said of our own community, which I'm gonna say is a person of color. So I'm gonna call him a black person. He said he. All right.
But I think it's time. It, it's, I want to, and I know, P, I know you're on here. I want to say everything now. And I have proof. It's not like I'm just making false accusations. I intentionally let the statute of limitations expire. It's not about money, but I'm gonna.
So how come they had New York had the what was it? The 1 year look back for Harvey Weinstein for females who were suffered sexual assault. However, what about male same sex assault or harassment? They don't get. He's a man talking about a man. Said this was going on for years, but the statute of limitations is up. Does he not get a 1 year look? No, I don't know.
I have to take the receipts, the recordings down to the police department and let them hear this individual. I wasn't working for him in the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me 100 grand to take my clothes off.
Wow, that's pretty bold. Now, I didn't hear in Derek Dixon's lawsuit. We didn't hear that allegedly, guys. Allegedly, I didn't read in Derek Dixon's lawsuit that Tyler Perry went to his house. But then again, we don't know if he has somewhere to live. And then remember, he said he moved to California to get away from Tyler Perry. But Christian Keys is saying he came up, he went to his house with $100,000 cash. Was that hush money? Was that a bribe? Was that an NDA? Was it in a brown paper bag like the diddler? This is not funny, guys. I'm not laughing. Please excuse me. Don't take my laughing the wrong way. It's just
He said,
if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. So you gotta.
I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked.
Woo!
I declined.
Woo! Guys, would you take $100,000 in a brown paper bag cash just for someone to look at you, not touch you? Boy, at my age, with my body, in this economy, shoot, I might just do it. No, I'm just messing with you guys. I'm engaged. I'm a fiance. No. I am a fiance.
Because again, scenic route. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited my apartment to offer me a job of this fall because the lead of this particular project was going to do something.
Okay, there's another clue. He was offering him a job, so that means that he was a producer. Because if he's an actor, he just said he came to my house with $100,000 cash to see him with no clothes on and offer him a job. So it's a male who's black, who we look up to as a hero, who had $100,000 cash that was going to offer him a job, that knew who he lived and came to his house, and is someone we look up to as a hero.
Something else, so he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him, and I told him over and over, and he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept.
Everybody wanted to hear the recording. After he did this video, you ain't never hear from him again. I think he took a guys. What you think? I think he took a settlement. I think whoever was on those recorders just said, "Hey, how much do you want? Give me all the tapes." He kept the backup, just like Diddy. Diddy was like, I'm giving you $100,000 to pay the two security guards, not knowing a third security guard had the video on the phone on tape and sold it to CNN. I never found out how much CNN paid him for that tape. So, y'all wanted to hear these recordings. You think Christian Keys don't have a backup recording? Please. But I think he did a settlement. I think they gave him some money. That's why he's been so quiet.
Something on me, always, even if my phone is off. Something else is, if I'm around somebody that has tried to sexually harass me, pressure me, intimidate me into some nonsense, I've always kept something on me so I can protect myself. Because if they're that powerful and they feel that entitled, then they can also try to get in the way of your work. I want to speak on it. I also want to keep making great things and creating jobs and opportunities. But oh no, I got backups for the backups for the backups for the backups. I've watched way too many Jason Bourne movies not to have 15 backups. I can press play and you can hear the person and you'll know immediately who the person is that's offering me 100 grand a strip. You'll know right away and it'll break your heart. I won't have to say the person's name, but I can and I will. I don't mind doing a polygraph or 3 or 5 on live TV, and I'll pass all of them because it's the truth. This industry is something else. It's wonderful, and we get to chase our dreams, and we get to live other lives. I get to be a judge or an FBI agent. I get to be a girl dad. And some of the people that you think are your mentors are literally and figuratively just trying to fuck you.
Now he's talking again about being a mentor, having this producer man as a mentor, and in the Derek Dixon's lawsuit, the attorney talked about a mentorship program, which makes it sound like allegedly there are more victims involved or that will come out. This word mentor, mentorship keeps coming up. If you go on Tyler Perry Studios, they talk about internship, mentorships. Allegedly, guys, Tyler Perry is innocent. This is a civil case. We're just reviewing it until he is proven guilty in a court of law.
I have documentation from the dealership for the car that they tried to buy as an apology for offering me 100 grand a strip. It's time. I really want to. I have documentation from the dealership for the car that they tried to buy as an apology for.
Another clue. Christian Keys just said he had documentation from the dealership about a car they were going to purchase or gift for him as an apology for asking him for the S, for the, I guess, the S harassment and potential S assault, and coming to mass and asking him to strip. But what's so crazy is that Derek Dixon said that he was driving a Jeep and Tyler Perry didn't like his Jeep and he bought him a new car. You see the pattern? There is definitely a pattern here, guys. Now, I don't know if Derek Dixon just went back. Our artists people are, they're very creative, right? They're very creative people. I'm a creative person, right? So I want the Derek Dixon go back and watch this interview and be like, yeah, well, he bought him a car. I'm gonna say he bought me a car too. I mean, if the lawyer was smart, he would have had to submit proof and paperwork. Or else he'll get disbarred or sued for like $20 fee or whatever. So that's another clue, guys. That's another clue.
Offering me 100 grand a strip. It's time. I really want to just clear the air because I'm tired. And then where I'm at now, it still feels like that person is fucking with you just to fuck with you, just to mess with you. The industry can be wonderful. I'm grateful. Be clear that this person showed me how not to be. When I'm a boss, people get daps and church hugs. The attractive women that work on even on my shows, my productions, they getting daps and church hugs. That's it. Because this person showed me how not to be when I'm in charge and when I built something and when I created something. I hear you, Pernell. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna dial it back. You get on my nerves because I know you're right, but it's in my fucking bone marrow and I'm tired of this person gallivanting around doing these.
Okay, he's starting to sound like he's having a mental breakdown. He seems really stressed, on edge, tired of the games. You could definitely this that business. It can make you have a nervous breakdown. Look at Kanye. You know, everybody wants to go on Kanye and laughing and joking. It is nothing funny about Kanye's position. You know, he's a husband. He's someone's father. He's also very creative, but he's also cray cray. I don't know how many nervous breakdowns he had, but this part of this interview, he sounded like he's about to lose it.
PR stunts. Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that. Well, then speak on if you gonna have.
I told you. He going crazy. He's about to go crazy. I told you.
We gonna have a conversation, y'all, really soon. Really, really soon. Really soon. And I thank God that He made me the way that I am because I know He sat back and watched. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you going to acquiesce and take this movie that's going to make 60, 70, 80 million dollars? Are you going to take this picture? Are you going to go to that late night audition, that late night table read?
What do you guys think about like Halle Berry when she had to do Monsters Ball to get her Oscar? She did a lot of work, but it wasn't until Monsters Ball she got her Grammy. The same with Will Smith. You know, Will Smith was doing his movies. He broke in with 6 Degrees of Separation. You know, these are overly, sexual, perverted, same-sex scenes that are. It's almost like I don't know what they call about it. The door that you have to go through, and I think that's what he was. Christian Keys. They were like the door will be open. You're gonna get this $8 million movie, but just strip for me. It's not funny. It's really not funny. And this man is about to have a nervous breakdown. Remember the other guy, Terry Lewis. Remember Terry Lewis is like, I'm standing here with my wife, and he gets SA'd. You know, they went and grabbed him by his cojones. They went and grabbed his cojones in front of his wife. You know, you feel so disrespectful. And that's a big muscle man. He could have knocked someone out. But he was like, I know if I would have hit him, one, I would have went to jail. And two, my career would have been over. So luckily he was able to resist himself. I don't know if he ever sued or did a lawsuit, got paid. I don't remember.
No, you ain't built me like that. I'm been beat, shot at, stomped out more than most of the people that are here on this live put together. P, I'm gonna call you in a minute. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna air it out, but I'm so fucking close because I'm tired. I'm tired. And it needs to be told. And the bad part is I'm gonna be painted as the villain when I was the one that was sexually harassed for years. Years. Bullied, intimidated, and sexually harassed for years. And I'm gonna be painted as the villain because y'all have deified this person.
Actually, I don't see him as a villain because he didn't name any name. So he's venting. He's talking to God. He's on the verge of a nervous breakdown. This is my interpretation of it. He actually protected uh, the individual he's talking about because he did not say his name. But with all the clues we're putting together, kind of figure it out for ourselves.
And then if a person tells you over and over, first of all, in general, you have no right to touch anybody. None. None. Now, that's why I'm careful. Like when I do my shows and everything, it's church hugs. I put the veils on and I kiss people on the hair up here. Nothing sexual, nothing weird, nothing crazy. And I'm trusting that, the fans will receive that out of a place of love and connection. But you are not allowed to touch somebody without their permission. Not allowed to try to touch them in a sexual or private place without their permission. And if they've already declared, like, hey, bruh, I get that that's your thing, but I like black women and Hennessy. And so miss me with the bullshit.
He said, I'm a one beard man in the bed. I'm one beard in the bed. And I'm into black women and Hennessy. I know that's right. All right, I hear you. Take it to church.
Because I'm never going to be open to that. I'm never going to swing at that pitch. Like I'm batting for this team over here. God made ovaries and fallopian tubes and vagina, labia majora.
Listen, I don't have anything with people of the same sex. God bless you all. I went to a all gay college for 5 years. I went to Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan. So, and I do have gay friends. I have gay people in my family, and I have nothing against them. But heterosexual people should not try to force anyone who doesn't want to be heterosexual, and gay people should not force anyone who's non-gay to be gay. I mean, this is what do you call it? Coercion. This is the word coercion, right? Force, manipulation, control, and then they're dangling your job, your money, your career, how you eat, how you make your living, and then you could get blocked. That was like Christina Capricorn. I don't think they explained it well because she was like, I stopped working for Diddy. I can't get any work. And the jury doesn't understand. They're like, well, just go be a teacher or a nurse or work at it. She's, no, I work in the music business for 10 years. I'm this. There's only 4 labels in the 90s maybe you could work for. You could work for Bad Boy, Def Jam, maybe Def Jam, Bad Boy, not Rockefeller Records, maybe Master P, whatever. It's like 3 or 4 of them. So if you're at the top of the food chain and they all know each other and they're friends and Diddy's gonna block you, you can't get work. I don't think the prosecution did a good job in the Diddy trial explaining how when someone gets blocked, I do think that Christian Keys, Tyler Perry, he's talking about how this person is powerful, allegedly. If it was Tyler Perry, I could see how Tyler Perry would have enough power to block him where he couldn't work with anybody else if he wanted to.
Or labia minora, uterus. It's just wonderful over here. So I'm going to stay over here, like, chill. And then this person still tries to grab you, physically grab you. Cassie speaking out has given me, has reminded me about not just me, because it was brutal going through it, because it lasted for years. But her speaking out People need to know. And the funny thing is, predators like that, they resent the prey that got away. They resent the prey that got away. The prey that didn't fold. The prey that didn't acquiesce and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this L.
I think the word is if you're in the entertainment business or music business, that's somewhat operating like a cult. And you get out of that cult, or you become, the word is ostracized. He said you're resented. I would say ostracized is a good word.
And sacrifice my morals for this opportunity. Nah. That was around the time that I was considering going back.
And you definitely get bad mouth. They'll gossip about you and bad mouth. Monique, perfect example. You saw it. Monique won the Oscar. She got paid $50,000 for Precious. Her bag was supposed to triple. She couldn't work for 10 years. Oh, she's a loudmouth. She's a problem. We don't like her. She's mean. She's too fat. She's too this. She's too black. Ah, da, 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 da. She blamed Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. They have yet to give an apology. And they try to do the same thing with Shannon Sharp. When Shannon Sharp had Cat Williams on his platform, Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey was like, they went to YouTube and was like, take down the channel. And they couldn't take down the channel. And look at Shannon Sharp now. Look at him. He lost $100 million deal over his shenanigans transporting some 20-year-old from LA to Vegas.
Back to Michigan, 08, 09, because work was slow and the work that was coming was offered with a side of penis. And yeah, that don't do nothing for me.
I'll give you a work with the sausage on the side. Oh my God. So, what is a side of sausage? No thank you. Yeah, he's like, no thank you.
At some point soon, I've spoken with my attorney trying to figure out how to deal with it. It's never been about money. I literally intentionally let the statute of limitation.
Now, let me tell you something. Money is the root to all evil. Money and greed is one of the 7 deadliest sins. The reason why Diddy's sitting in prison right now with no bail is because he's greedy. And I believe, and I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe Cassie, that $30 million she got, she needs to give it away. She needs to take the bad and make it into good. There are a lot of women out there on the street that are homeless, that have kids, that are hiding from DV and this and that, or suffering from drug addict. Use some of that money and do the good work. That's just my opinion. What do I know? Set yourself up, set up your kids, and the rest of it just dash it away. Because every time you're going to use that money, it's going to trigger her. It's going to trigger you. I was broke, living in my mother's basement. I woke up, I got $30 million. Oh my God, what do I have to do to get this money? And you're just going to be triggered. So it's best for you to just toss it away and do something good. That's just good. You guys can disagree. That's fine.
It's not about money or being able to sue. But at some point, really soon, the police report is going to be filed, and I'll turn over the recordings of the inappropriate behaviors and the inappropriate offers, and I'll turn over the paperwork for the car that was bought as an apology for offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off. And y'all can hear him. His voice is very distinctive.
He never dropped those tapes. He never made the police report. I don't think so. Or it hasn't been released. And then now with AI, who knows? Now, I don't know. Nowadays, people are like dropping a recording. You may be sitting there like, they got an album with Tupac. It sounds just like Tupac. Shout out, happy belated birthday, Tupac. His birthday was this week.
And I want to empty. I'm tired of carrying this shit. There's a reason now why I fight more than ever when somebody wrongs me, and why I almost too aggressively speak up is because I wasn't brave enough to then. And I regret not being able to be strong enough, and I resent that part of me that wasn't strong enough to speak up about it. It's taking everything in me not to air out everything and put all the recordings online, put all the paperwork and PDFs online. There's no reason that this person's company would be on the bill of sale for a vehicle unless it's right after the time-stamped recording of him.
Wait a minute. So allegedly, this guy who essayed him bought him a car as an apology in his company name. How stupid is that? So now we know the person owns a company. He owns a company and using the company funds to pay for his apology. Oh my God. I think social media, since the Me Too movement, I think society has changed. I think they've become more compassionate, less starstruck. I think social media has made a safe place for victims to be heard. Um, a lot of the victims all saying the same thing. Even Cassie said on the stand, we heard it like a week ago. And what he's saying right now is that it just got too heavy. It got too heavy. He said when he goes to sleep at night, it gets to be compromised. They were compromised, and it just gets too heavy, and they got to talk about it. And that's what therapy is. That's why you have friends. You talk to your friends all the time. And I think women, luckily for us, we have more of an outlet of people to talk to. I don't think men have that. I don't think men have a really safe space where they can talk to anyone about anything and not be judged or criticized, especially men of color. So
Offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't have to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, I'm not into that. I don't fuck around like that. I don't do that. What the fuck? What? Leave. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get out. I thought you were my brother and my friend. And this definitely has nothing to do with my brother who's in here. Be clear. I thought this person was a brother type figure, a mentor type figure. But for you to continuously throw these opportunities, you know good and damn well all it ever was you pretending to be a mentor trying to get some ass. That'll never happen. I don't bat for that team. Yeah, but I gotta get off of here and talk to my brother because I'm so fucking close to just airing everything out. I'm just dumping everything online in the morning. I'm tired, man. I'm not forgiving myself. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't brave enough back then because somebody said forgive yourself. KG, it's heavy on my heart, man, and I'm tired. And we around here deifying people that go out and do this, and
you see what happened? Cassie's lawsuit triggered him. When he heard what Cassie was going through and everything, he felt he could what's the word with it? Commiserate. He could identify. I'm not saying he was trafficked or anything like that, like Cassie was, but he said when Cassie came forward, it gave him the courage because he didn't have courage. So he was identifying with that, and it kind of triggered him because the man sounds like he was about to have a nervous breakdown.
I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pay off this, and I'm gonna pay off that, and I'm gonna pay off that. But at the same time, these same people are predators.
Yep.
I'm not blaming myself for saying no. I'm not blaming myself for almost quitting acting. I'm just mad at me for not being brave enough to say something sooner. That's the only thing that I regret. I wish I'd have been brave enough. I'm him now. I know who I am. I know who God built me to be, and I'm not afraid of those consequences. My concern is that a lot of y'all are gonna be like, man, and your immediate reaction is gonna be like, oh, well, we gotta protect our deity. We gotta protect it. It's gonna have to happen. I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But yeah, you get a grown ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so.
Oh, there we go. That's another clue. That's another clue right there. Derek Dickerson said that they were always drinking. He said he was drinking Hennessy, that he was drinking, and then he wound up in his guest room. They both said the same thing again.
Um, After a big party, won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like, what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck? Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face. Like beating the dog shit out of this person, right? Because that's available to me at all times. That inner grizzly bear is always available, but in the moment, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And but you got a guy that's a billionaire, and I got $3,000.
There's another clue. A black man with a billionaire status. Not many of them out there. He just said he's a billionaire, not a millionaire.
In my bank account. Who they gonna believe, right? I got that $3,000. That's my son's mom's rent for next month. Got to make sure little man's taken care of. That's my rent, and that's a little bit for the gas tank, and the rest of it I can go to the dollar store and get some bread and bologna and hot dogs and mustard, and I could get by. Work was slow, and a lot of the work that was coming it had penis attached to it. I'm like, fuck that, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm about to do. I regret not speaking up then, not being.
I don't think we realize or appreciate how much these actors go through. I mean, I think Denzel said he started as a waiter. I think Cat Williams said he was homeless, sleeping in his car. He had no teeth when he did Next Friday. This guy here is saying he's eating at the dollar store, bread and mustard. When you're chasing a dream, you're really just, some of them are almost homeless, just chasing this dream.
Being brave enough to, and I regret not hurting this person because I'm a, I'm a, I got a big heart. Mother had a big heart. Mother's heart was just big as Flemish. She was like a little yellow boy. You finna come and you're gonna be a part of my family. And I always try to think about things, you know, and not lash out, even though I wanted to. Even though I want to. I'm mad at me for not hitting him. I'm mad at me for not speaking up and saying something. Because between that year and now, how many young black actors have fell for that? How many of them, and you can hear him say it on you can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him on the conversations. You can hear him say that he has several guys, multiple guys on payroll, 6 figures a year that pop up and they do it.
Wow, so he's been adopted. Christian Keys has been adopted not once but twice, and once was illegally. And it's interesting that he said All the Queen's Men was part of his life. So he's been through some. That's what he said. He's been shot at. He's been, he's been through a lot.
Whatever he wants and they go back home. So they pop in, they grab their ankles, they do whatever he wants. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to make it that bad. I want to be able to shave in the fucking morning without any grief or any regret or any shame waiting for me in the mirror. There's a trauma that comes with being bullied and intimidated and sexually harassed like that. And the bad part is when the truth comes out, a lot of y'all in here gonna be like, man, I don't believe it. And you can watch me on whatever news station. I'll take polygraphs live on TV.
Do we believe what we're hearing now a year later? Do we believe Derek Dixon's lawsuit? I mean, how many more lawsuits do we need to come out? Do you think Tyler Perry's going to settle? Do you think his PR people are going to make a comment? What? I mean, did he settle in 24 hours? But we know why now because he had that tape. He knew that tape was out there.
You can hear the recordings yourself. Person has a very distinctive voice when they offer me $100 grand to take my clothes off. Person has a very distinctive voice when they literally sexually assault me and try to grab my private parts and I'm blocking their hand like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, my bad, and tries to do it again. Some of these people are y'all heroes. Some of these people y'all have deified and set up on a stool or on a stoop. It's taking everything in me not to say. But I promise you this. I will promise you this. As an executive on the show, I'm grateful for this person for showing me how not to be. When you're the boss, how not to be. You don't sexually harass your employees. You don't pressure them, bully them, try to intimidate them into what you want. I am grateful for that lesson. I'm glad that God sat back because not only was he watching to see if I was the person that he thought he had made, but he was letting me see who I am. And I'm grateful for it because it let me know and that gave.
You never really know how strong you are until you're tested. And he's saying that's what he has gratitude for that, to seeing his strength. He's actually saying he's weak, but he's not weak. He's actually strength, but he just is like in crisis mode because it's just too stressful. I think Cassie triggered him.
Gave me a lot of my bravery. I thank God He just sat back and watched. It's going to be a conversation really soon. And it won't be a conversation or accusations. Again, I let the statute of limitations run out. It's never been about money. My concern is that this person is still doing it, still a predator. And it's not okay. And I wish I was brave enough to speak up back then. I was worried that he would get in the way and try to interfere with my work and try to blackball me because he couldn't ball me. Pun intended. It's going to be a conversation had real soon.
So it sounds to me that he has some guilt because had he feel I think he feels like this had happened to him for years. If he had the strength and the courage to speak up, that he could have protected other men of color, other heterosexual men. I didn't hear him say underage, from being assaulted or like whatever this guy Derek Dixon is going through.
The beauty of non-disclosure agreements is that even if you do sign them, you can't speak about certain things, but confidentiality agreements don't, after speaking with several attorneys, they do not prohibit you. They can't prevent you from going to police departments and reporting sexual harassment.
And that's what happened with Diddy. Diddy had everybody sign an NDA. He never thought, and 30 years later, that he would wind up in a federal court in the Southern District of in New York, where they went and they took those NDAs and they went into Sean Combs' face and they did that. It don't matter.
And giving them your receipts, giving them your recordings, giving them your PDFs, and they don't prevent you from reporting felonies. Sexual harassment is a felony. If you tell a person, if you tell a whole grown man, like, hey, I ain't into dudes, yeah, y'all shut the fuck up. You tell a grown man, I'm not into guys, and he tries to grab your private parts, not once but twice, after trying to climb into bed with you. That is the legal definition of sexual assault. So, yeah. And no, I didn't see that documentary. Yeah, NDA and confidentiality agreement do not cover crimes, and they don't prevent you from taking all your evidence to the police. And then there's a public record. So at some point really soon, this conversation is going to have to happen because it's fucking with me. It's bothering me. And it needs to happen. Y'all going to be disappointed in who it is because y'all been fooled for years. But it's going to have to happen. So, yeah, exactly. You said it. No means no. If I got multiple friends in the industry that are LGBTQ+. I've had drinks with a castmate and his boyfriend. I don't give a fuck who they sleeping with. I don't give a flying fuck at a Rolling Donut who these people are sleeping with. How do you treat me as a human being? That's what matters to me. That'll be the only thing that affects how I treat you. If you're respectful of my boundaries, then I can have a drink with you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend. I don't care. I don't have heaven to send you to. when you leave here. That's God's job to judge you. But what we not gonna do, yeah, we're not gonna try to force. Nah, man. It's taking everything in me not to air that out. Everything. I've been carrying this with me for a decade and a half. More.
So Derek Dixon's lawyer actually named Christian Keys in the lawsuit. But rumor is that Christian Keys took a settlement because he had been so quiet, and then he deleted the video from his Instagram. But Tyler Perry or Christian Keys never denied or confirmed that he was the alleged man who essayed him.
I'm gonna get off of that subject. It's gonna be addressed, and it's gonna be addressed soon. And if anybody has a problem with me telling the truth about predators in this industry, then they are truly part of the problem. And I'll say that out front, so that way, when certain people who are worried about their work that are tied to this person or whatever, it's because they're selfish and they're worried about work. You can't treat people like that. And when I'm the boss, when I'm CEO, when I can make any TV show and film that I want, people are going to be able to come work with me and know that they don't have to worry about bullshit. They don't have to worry about opportunities being tied to sexual favors. They won't have to worry about being sexually harassed and intimidated and bullied because they didn't acquiesce to the sexual harassment or the attempted sexual assault or any of that. They're going to be able to show up and work and create amazing and great stuff without that. I was on a show, and if I had done what this actress did, just switching lanes, if I had done what she did, I'd never work again and I'd be in jail. She used to come up and pat me on the jump, like pat my penis, like, "Oh, okay, I see that print." And I checked her. I grabbed her hand right away, checked her, like, what the fuck are you doing? I said, "Okay, I'll do that shit. I'm going to jail. What are you doing?" She did it again. Grabbed her hand. I was like, "Stop. That shit ain't funny." We're preparing for a scene. She walks past, cups my equipment, and was like, "Oh, you got some girth." When I tell you, had that been a dude, I'd have punched them in their motherfucking mouth. If I behaved like this woman, this particular actress had done, in that moment, I'd be in jail, I'd be canceled, and I would never fucking work again. You don't get to walk past somebody and be like, "Oh, that's nice," and pat them on their fucking private. What I get to call my job is a blessing, and I love it, and I'm grateful to God about it. Nah, it absolutely wasn't Cheryl Pepsi Riley. Please don't do that. That's my heart. I love her to the moon and back. She's a consummate professional. It was another project. It was a TV and film project, and she felt entitled to do that bullshit. Now, had I
He's from Detroit, Michigan. He was adopted from Detroit, wrote a book about running a male strip club, and he said that's the story of his life. So he's definitely comes from he's been through some stuff. He comes from a rough background. He's a no nonsense individual, and he got stepped to by a billionaire who was very powerful. And he recorded him and said he's going to take a lie detector test. and I guess he got some money for it. I wonder how much money he got.
Said something.
Let me know in the comments, guys. How much money do you think he got?
And she was higher than me on the call sheet, they would have just wrote me out. I'd have died. I told you, Miguel. They'd have wrote my character out and killed them off or whatever. And you're like, okay, boom, this is a series regular. I'm 1, 2, 3 on the call sheet. But that's not okay. It's not okay. Y'all wonder why I stay in my fucking dressing room while we on set. Because it's bullshit out there. And it's people that don't appreciate and aren't there to honor the opportunity that we have. They're just doing whatever they want to, whatever they feel entitled to.
You just listen, guys. I'm here to work, get money, give me some healthy boundaries. Everybody leave me alone and go about your way. No nonsense. That's it.
Imagine a man walking past a woman tapping, saying, I see that print poking through. I'm going to jail that very day. But she can do it and continue to work in this industry. And if I report her to the female executives that were on that particular show, it's going to get swept under the rug because they had already told me, just Christian, just stand here and be pretty. Just stand here and look pretty. While I'm asking about certain things in the scene so I can make it make sense to me intellectually, just stand there and be pretty. So, of course, I can't trust. P, give me a minute. Chill out. I'm venting. Of course, I can't trust them. Stand there and be pretty. That's that bullshit that men told women for decades. So why the entire fuck is that okay for you to say that to me when I'm asking you the history of a particular scene so I can make it make sense to me honestly here, so that way when the words exit my spirit, it's honest. A few people calling me right now because they're probably seeing this and they're wondering if I'm actually going to tip the can over, and I want to. I fucking want to so bad. Because I'm tired of carrying it. I'm tired of carrying and having to deal with the bully and the harassment. Years. Not 1, not 2, not 3, more. Years of sexual harassment and attempted sexual assault. And I want to air that shit out so bad.
So this is what we know about the bully. He said he's someone who's powerful, had 100,000 cash, requested him to remove his clothes. He's looked up as a hero, is possibly a public figure. He's a producer, a person of color, owns his own company, and is a billionaire. And he was afraid to disclose this individual, this bully, in fears that it would interfere with his co-workers, who I guess are actors that need work. Can you guys guess who that is?
I'm having a night, clearly. Pretty boys deserve the same respect as the block button. Go fuck yourself. I'm a grown ass man. I'm 48. I'm not a pretty boy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, some people can hear me. Can you? Good. Yeah. It's not, yeah. And if you know me, then you know I'm a grown man. Don't call me pretty boy. That's some bullshit. So yeah, I needed to vent and get some of this out of my system because there's a vitriol that you carry when you deal with this, and there's a trauma that comes with it because you never know. Like, okay, is this meeting legit, or is this some bullshit? Is this another one of those meetings where you meet with a black billionaire businessman, and while my manager was there, everything is everything. I got my Kinko's presentation with the plastic cover on it. I paid good money on this, good money. I'm running it down like you can invest in this, that, and the other. So when my manager leaves, he moves into a conference room, and I'm like, okay, it's a conference room. Nothing sketchy about this. Didn't realize that the doors on the side of the conference room right there led into his suite. So about 8 or 10 minutes, I'm nervous in my phone. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What is okay? You changing? You got to use the bathrooms. And number two, cool. He comes back in silk pajamas, silk robe, right as they're delivering strawberries and champagne, like this is Pretty Woman or a fucking date. Now,
He's had a robe. Can you picture Medea allegedly with a robe and champagne and strawberries? Like you can't picture, right? But let me get into this real quick before we jump off. We're about to jump off. Here's the similarities in what Christian Key said a year ago to what Derek Dixon said. They both said the SASH have been going on for years. They both talked about a mentorship program. They looked at him like a mentorship, so that there were maybe other victims. They both have men on men SA. Both were groped. One in the front, one in the back. They were groped multiple times. They both were gifted a car. They both have documentation that they were gifted a car that was purchased through their company that they owned. Also, they both were asked to remove their clothes. They both were given drinks and then allowed to sleep in the guest room. And then when they were in the guest room asleep, they were assaulted or attempted assault. Let me say attempted assault. And then an apology came with that later. An apology usually came with a gift or a promise of work. Both of these are a lot of similarities.
I'm like, wait, whoa, this ain't that. This I'm not him, and this ain't that. I'd love for you to invest in my company. He probably should have because he would own a piece of All the Queen's Men. The books I've already sold, the 6 or 8 books I'm about to release, all of that. He would have had a piece of all of that monetarily, but he didn't. He was thinking with his dick. And yeah, he came back in, grabbed a strawberry, sat down, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. You got my presentation, I'm going. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. He's like, are you sure? That second, are you sure, means if you don't stay and do what I want, you're not going to get what you're hoping for. Now, this particular guy is out here paying tuition for entire classes of HBCUs after this sketchy shit. Want to air him out too. I'm just tired of carrying this bullshit with me. I'm tired. There's
Well, he said, I want to air him out too. Means that there's a second person, I guess, that he allegedly was harassed by too. He said, someone who donates to HSBC, I want to air him out too.
there are wolves in the henhouse. And yeah, it's disappointing because you're like, okay, well, I want to learn from this person, or I want to learn from this person, or maybe partner with this person over here because he's invested in black companies, not knowing that he's a predator. And this person who's supposed to be your mentor is the worst predator of all. It's got to come out at some point. So, just, yeah, you carry shit and it gets heavy. I'm going to call my brother back. I'm so fucking close to tipping a glass over and just letting the marbles roll wherever they go because I'm tired of carrying it. And it would be easier to just file that police report, name that person for attempted sexual assault, name that person for sexual harassment for years. turn over the evidence, and then let the world hear him offer me $100,000 to take my clothes off. Thank God he made me the way I am. And I could say no. I was broke as fuck. When I tell you, I would have loved that $100,000. I wasn't finna sell my soul. Oh, wow.
Do you guys think, allegedly, if Tyler Perry was in the closet, which I'm sure a lot of men or women or fluid people or bisexual people would love to be with him? He's very charming, attractive, good looking, has money, big mansion, a man of God, or he preaches and everything, So, do you guys think that he's if he is bisexual, gay, whatever, do you think he's keeping it in the closet to protect his money because his base is a black female Christian base? He has like women of the church who kind of look at him, so maybe he feels like, well, if I disappoint them, then I won't make my money. What do you think?
Warriors. You talking about the basketball game? Let me go ahead and get you this block button. You fight that warrior. I'm gonna log off before I spill this shit, man, and fuck up y'all year. Fuck up 2024. Because if you think that Diddy shit was crazy, you don't even know. I'm gonna get up on out of here.
He's saying this is worse than Diddy. Lord knows we can't take another Diddy. We cannot take another case this year. Can you save it for 2026, please? I don't think we can't take no more Diddy. This Diddy thing been going on from 2023. First we had the lawsuit, then we had the raid, then we had the CNN video, then the trial. Now we might have a mistrial because 3 jurors got kicked off the case. Lord, please say it ain't so. We can't take
But
no
this
more right
conversation
now.
is gonna happen. I'm gonna head down there. I've already been down to I stopped in the parking lot once, and the other time I made it into the lobby of the police station to file it. I had my computer with me and all the recordings. Like I said, when the sexual harassment started, I carried a keychain. I carried multiple pens. Sometimes they only lasted 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes you had to put like a AAA battery in them. But you can hear these offers from the person who made the offer. And I suggest that too. That's why I'm cautious too when people email my manager or my booking agent or whoever, like, hey, I want Christian to be my mentor. I'm afraid to mentor anybody. On set, if we're working on a project together, or you're working on a project I created, ask me what you want to ask me. But individually, separately, I'm afraid because of the bullshit that I had to deal with. And you got these predators still running around, still fucking over people, still screwing people over. And at some point soon, I'm gonna air this shit out. You just gotta ask yourself, are you ready? Because y'all deified some of these people. Y'all made them almost. I said what I had with recordings. You say don't say what you have with. I have all of it, layered and stacked, and proof. You're allowed to record yourself when you feel unsafe. I have all of it. I have all of the inappropriate moments and offers and bullshit. I'm not sorry. Don't say that. I'm with the shit. I'm tired of carrying it. I saw what they did to Terry Crews when he didn't say anything, and yeah, like that doesn't make it comfortable for you to be like, man, I really want to tell the truth about this because I'm sure this person is still out here doing the same thing, and if not, what has he done over the last 15 years? Excuse me, I use these. Sorry, I have allergies. I use these knees twice. What has this person done over the years with other people? When he's on recording, talking about how he's got multiple guys on payroll for 6 figures a year that pop up and hold their ankles. This conversation is going to have to happen. And the drop off at the police station is going to have to happen.
Did he say pop up and hold your ankles? You said grab your ankles?
That's the bad part.
Not the ankles.
A lot of y'all going to be like, man, no, not him. Yeah, him. And I could be on the news taking a polygraph, which I would gladly. And I'll pass everyone. And some of y'all still won't believe it. Stop deifying these entertainers. We just human. But some of us are a little more human than others. And some of us actually give a fuck about the people that we work with, the people that we affect the people that we have an opportunity to create an opportunity for. I love the fact that God let me create a show, and there's 150, 200 people working every single season. That lets me know I'm in my purpose. I don't love the fact that He sat back and let me go through that mess, but I appreciate the fact that He built me strong enough to pass on those opportunities to sell my soul or a body part. Take the scenic route. Take the long way around. I'm gonna have to air these recordings and this information out soon because I'm tired of carrying mass heavy, and I just want to create great shit and great opportunities, and I want beautiful people, women and men, to be able to show up on set and not feel like they got to do something to earn their spot. You're talented and you work hard. You already earned your spot. What I learned from the bullshit was walk away from anything that doesn't serve you or anything that's going to cost me my spirit and my soul. And it's not easy, but it's possible. It's doable. It's possible. Walk away. God for you.
That's like Mace. Mace walked away. That's like Dave Chappelle walked away. A lot of them sometimes they just walk away. You know what I mean? But on that note, guys, I'm out of here. I'll be back with another one. I gotta run. Go check out my playlist if you're looking for any recipes.